You're looking at a vehicle that most people would scroll past without a second thought. A van. Just a van. But if you judge this one from the outside, you're about to make a very expensive mistake. Because this isn't trying to be an RV. It's not pretending to be a supercar. And it's definitely not a normal family vehicle. This is what happens when a work van quietly turns into a rolling luxury lounge. And nobody warns you before you open the door. At first glance, it still looks familiar. That classic boxy shape, the kind of vehicle you've seen parked outside hotels, airports, or long highway rest stops. But then, your eyes start catching details that don't belong on an ordinary van. The paint alone gives it away. That deep, two-tone finish feels more like something you'd expect on a luxury sedan than a utility vehicle. The wheels aren't trying to be aggressive, but they're clearly not stock. And the stance feels planted, confident, like this thing knows exactly what it is. Still, nothing prepares you for what happens next. The moment the door opens, the entire personality of the vehicle changes. You're not stepping into a van anymore. You're stepping into a private space. The kind that feels intentionally separated from the outside world. Soft leather surrounds you, not the stiff, shiny kind that cracks over time, but the plush, padded kind that immediately tells your body to relax. The lighting is low and calm, not harsh or bright, almost like the inside of a high-end lounge or a private jet cabin. And suddenly, the road noise, the chaos, the rush, it all feels far away. The seats don't feel like seats you sit on. They feel like seats that welcome you. Wide, comfortable, with armrests that actually make sense. You don't squeeze into them, you settle in. And once you do, you realize something important. This van wasn't built for driving, it was built for riding. There's space to stretch out, space to breathe, space to exist without constantly adjusting your posture or shifting your legs. A wooden table folds out smoothly, not like a gimmick, but like something you'd actually use. For a laptop, for coffee, for conversation, for time. And right in front of you, a large screen waits quietly, ready to turn a long drive into a movie night, a business meeting, or just background noise while the miles disappear. What makes this even more interesting is what it's based on. Underneath all this comfort and calm, this is still a GMC Savana at heart. A vehicle originally designed to work hard, drive long distances, and keep going when others quit. And that's exactly why this transformation works so well. Because instead of forcing luxury onto something fragile, this build takes a strong, proven platform and softens everything that didn't need to be harsh. The result is something rare, a vehicle that feels premium without being delicate, comfortable without being complicated, luxury without shouting about it. Every surface you touch feels intentional. The trim along the walls adds warmth instead of cold plastic. The lighting under your feet gives the cabin a soft glow, just enough to guide you without stealing your attention. And the roof, the extra headroom, changes everything. You don't feel boxed in. You don't feel like you're crouching. You can move naturally, stand comfortably, and forget you're in something that started life as a cargo van. And here's the clever part. None of this is pretending to be factory-built luxury. This isn't a concept car. It's not a futuristic prototype. It's a professionally customized conversion, the kind designed to be used every day, not admired behind glass. That's why everything feels practical, not flashy. The storage is where you expect it. The layout makes sense. Nothing feels like it was added just to impress. And that's exactly why it does, because luxury isn't about excess. It's about effortlessness. This kind of van quietly solves problems most people don't even realize they have. Long trips stop feeling exhausting. Traffic feels less stressful. Waiting becomes comfortable instead of annoying. Whether it's a family road trip, a business shuttle, or just a long drive where you actually want to enjoy the journey, this setup adapts without asking for attention. From the driver's seat, it still feels familiar. The controls are straightforward. The view is commanding. And you're not learning an entirely new vehicle. You're just driving a better version of something proven. And that's why builds like this are becoming more popular. Not everyone wants an RV. Not everyone wants to deal with massive size, complicated systems, or campsite logistics. Some people just want comfort, on demand. They want something that fits in a normal parking space, something that doesn't scream vacation vehicle, something that can show up at a hotel, an office, or a highway rest stop and feel completely at home. This van does exactly that. It blends in when it needs to and transforms when it matters. And the price? That's where expectations usually get flipped. You might expect something like this to live in unreachable territory. But because it's built on a real, mass-produced platform, the numbers stay grounded. You're paying for craftsmanship, for materials, for comfort, not for experimental technology or fragile innovation. And that's what makes it such a smart alternative to traditional RVs or luxury SUVs. It doesn't try to replace them. It quietly sits in the middle and ends up doing both jobs better. By the time you step back outside and close the door, the exterior suddenly makes sense. It doesn't need wild styling. It doesn't need dramatic lines, because all the magic is inside. This is the kind of vehicle that doesn't beg for attention. It rewards curiosity. And if you've made it this far, you already understand why. So the next time you see a van that looks ordinary from the outside, you might want to think twice before scrolling past. Because sometimes, the most unexpected luxury experiences don't come with flashy badges or aggressive designs. They come quietly, on four wheels, waiting for you to open the door.